Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another iRacing video. And this time around, we are in the FIA F4 Esports Regional Tour Fixed Series in the second to last race. And we'll be starting in P2 out of a 12 driver grid. So we've got quite a tough matchup here, but we'll see how it goes. I have faith. And yeah, it's going to be a great one, I think. Don't really know what to expect here. But yeah, we're in a little bit of a rainy session as well this time around here. And as always, we're going to be seeing how it goes. Starting it off. And, well, majority of the drivers make it through. And we've overtaken a couple here. Maybe some pit starters as well. It wouldn't surprise me at least here. But yeah, we are currently good with how things are looking. We are just making sure we make it all through here. Take it easy. There's a massive crash ahead of us. Cars upside down already. Yeah, that was what we were expecting. Oh man, that is probably one of the biggest crashes I've seen in a long while. Let's hope all is good. Because that looked like a massive incident. Well, we're going to be able to move up back to original position. Even though we had lost so many incidents before. See, now we continue that race. And we're going to make our way over just outside of the Camel Straight. Just hoping to keep things clean for now. As you can see as well, we're driving very carefully. Our main priority right now is that safety rating that we need to get up. Because otherwise we're not making it to C-Class and then we're going to be stuck doing the same races again, which we'd rather not be. At the moment, well, we're doing it rather nicely. There's almost a little bit of a spin, but no, we do survive, so all is good. And yeah, that's a little bit scary, I gotta say. We'll see what else will be coming through here. It's going to be at least the straight now that we can push forward on. Incident ahead being called already. Let's hope it's not a big one. I mean, for us it would be beneficial, but we'd rather keep things clean if we can. Yeah, now you see one car off at least here. Well, that is... Yeah, we were driving slowly. He was trying to go around us, but the rejoin just not there. Yeah, maybe you wasn't expecting us up that big. We have big incidents ahead now. Now, well, a little bit later on, we are in lap 2 here. It's Space Ketelaar coming out of the pits and then immediately open the attack here as well. He's going to try and go for the overtake as well, and he will make it through. And all is good, and looks like all the drivers will be able to make it through as well, so all is good now. And yeah, once again we lose a couple positions, but because of the incidents we've gained so many. So I hope all is good, but let's see. See some more drivers behind us losing positions as well. A little bit later on the race, it's lap 3 already. Maybe getting a little bit more aggressive with it now, but see, we're starting to feed out the track a little bit here, but we lose the back end, and that's immediately a reminder of why these slippery tracks are so incredibly difficult to master. Yeah, but we do manage to keep it on there, so that's a good recovery at least here. A little bit later on, lap 5. Probably the trickiest corner of them all. Very easy to overshoot this one, even in the dry conditions. And once again, we are able to avoid that spin. The fact that there's only 4 players, or actually only 3 players ahead of us now, has made me think that something's gone massively wrong, but we're going to see that later on as well. Well, a bit of luck would be good to at least survive this corner here. We're going to take the checkered flag here in P4. So, not an eventful race in terms of what happened for us, but for other drivers it most definitely has been an eventful one. So we're going to look at that later on as well. Anyways, we finished P4. I think a good position here.
Checkered flag.
Checkered flag coming in.
Nice run.
And, well, that's good results for us as well here. So P4, it's a 60 iRating racing up in this 15:37 strength of field race. But even after the race, you got to be careful, which will be demonstrated to us a little bit here. There we go over that curb. We saw it go wrong in the GT3 so many times.
You've got wheel damage.
That's wheel damage. Yeah, the car is just not in a good space whatsoever.
Your front wing is gone.
Now we'll see how it goes. It's maybe a damaged rear wing coming through here, unfortunately. A very good sign. Now, well, that is just part of it. Then we make it back to the pits at least here. No, man, let me tell you this much. The fact that so little drivers only completed the race makes me a little bit scared here, I gotta say.
Box in 10. Okay, the race is over. Bring it on in. 5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
Coming in, we're gonna park the car up. Then get ready for the overall race highlights here. Yeah. 0 incident points, 66 championship points, and a 4th position with a fast lap time of over 3 minutes. And this was the crash we saw earlier, driver upside down. We're behind that Sauber-inspired car somewhere, Alfa Romeo, as you'd say. I think it already was back then. And here is that start, and let's see how it goes. This Ben Taylor-Wright, who is the driver who qualified in first, and he's going to be trying to make his way up here now. All the way towards the right. Now he seems to be making it through, and so do many other drivers. No incidents, no touches as far as I can see. Way over. Yeah, there's one driver spinning out of the pit lane, interestingly enough. Started this race, was a little bit too reckless with it, unfortunately. And now coming up to Eau Rouge and Radial. There we see a car just completely losing control and then actually ending on top of one of the blue cars. It is Joachim Rufte who crashed into Mees Ketelaar at Eau Rouge corner. This one, it looks like from him desperately trying to hold on but couldn't save it anymore. Ended up upside down. And from that point on, there was just nothing that they can do. I want to see this one again. And yeah, here it is in slow-mo. Already starts sliding a little bit. Has to compensate for it. Gets onto the grass, and from that point on is a passenger. Takes out the number 2 car of Mees Ketelaar, and that's rather unfortunate. He did nothing wrong in this. But he'll be taking it as is. Shame, really. Yeah, that's a big crash. But luckily, Mees Ketelaar was able to continue. Here is a nice little overtake. Come into Eau Rouge as well. Then probably Mees Ketelaar will follow as well. Indeed. The attack is on, but he's not past him just yet. But obviously, he's going to have a really badly damaged car at this point. So he does go by over on the Camel Straight. You can just see the spray. Getting behind someone means you don't see anything anymore. It is awful to drive, and I gotta say. And then, well, that's one way to go here. He's in the corner and driving straight through the grass. Joining ahead of a couple other drivers, but they'll have to give those position back, of course. Because that is just not a way to do it. And Gabriele Carnante now. Actually, no, that's not him yet. This is number 5 car that we're watching. See a couple drivers go by. Now, well, going back for the position here as well. Is the corner there, and then gets passed by Mees Ketelaar. And now this is Gabriele Carnante coming alongside. It was Karate Kusiri that we were aboard with, by the way. The battle now is very much on here. There's the contact. And he gets flipped up in the air. He'll spin. And now other drivers behind him, including the number 12 car of Jose Maria Carmelo Vega, will be able to make it through. There's the rejoin. And crashing into the number 1 Hornet of Roger Rodinius. And I guess what happened here is that he wasn't expecting us to be driving that slowly. So the drivers made their round. But then you just gotta wait, because it is your responsibility to join back onto the track safely. And he knows that too. Big crash, and here's that slow motion. Yeah, just shouldn't have done it, and figures out the hard way. I think that might have once again be one of those similar cars. I think it might have been the exact same car that we saw crash earlier on as well, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. Highly unlikely, but it's a similar livery at least. Oh, there's a big way to go out. Alex Dunn loses control, and number 7 car Arthur Vieira, unfortunately, is the victim of that. In the background, you also see the Ferrari of Gabriele Carnante coming off. Chaotic race by all means here. He's able to continue here. That's good. Here is Mees Ketelaar still on his way. He gets onto the curbs, and those are incredibly slippery. Zolder tries to at least save it out, but gets hit massively. Alex Dunn, big incident, and I think it's just one of those races where everybody has an incident at this point. No driver safe. Gabriele Carnante again loses control, spins, and, well, to be fair, keeps it quite well on the track. Doesn't go off into the wall, doesn't go off into anything. But he is able to rejoin the race here, although he's a little bit slower than he wanted to, and therefore move succeeded by the number 12 as well. Speak about that number 12, here it is. That is going to be once again Jose Maria Clemente Vega, who goes off and hits the wall really hard this time around. Rejoining here is not easy with all the damage as well. Oh my. That car does not sound good anymore. Yeah, that's a little bit of a puncture or something along those lines as well. Is Ketelaar coming out now. Gets back to it. But behind Sven Matthijs again, so that's where we saw him overtake him. Here is Gabriele Carnante again. Oh, Rouge. Dangerous corner. Everybody knows that by now. He's able to keep it clean though, which is probably the most important part. Still messy all along here. Now we might see the overtake that we saw again. Mees Ketelaar behind Sven Matthijs. On Campbell straight, and this is what it looked like from his POV, or at least the GoPro on his bumper, and he makes it by. That's going to be a nice one coming on there. Ketelaar over them, misses the corner and goes off straight into the grass. Decides as well, it might just be better to cut across here. She'll just take, and it's going to be Gabriele Carnante now behind the car of Mees Ketelaar. But obviously that's not how you're supposed to overtake, so he knows that too. Here is Arthur Herrera, who goes off himself as well. Similar corner as to where we saw the big crash, where we were, well, I guess, involved in some way, just indirectly. Here is the leader. Ooh, Ben Taylor Wright. Good recovery there, I gotta say. Manages to keep the car from spinning, but he is struggling to get his foot down. This is some awesome car control we're seeing. This is definitely harder than it looks, ladies and gentlemen. Here we see another car going off. This time right, Joachim Rufda, who misses the corner, has to rejoin the other way. Cannot go back to racing, but it took a little while. Here is Mees Ketelaar, who loses control and also is going to look to send it into the wall almost, but he stays out. Unlike the other driver that we saw go off there, he is able to remain in that race, going up to the bus shop, kind of unharmed somehow. But here's Joachim Rufda yet again. Once again, a similar moment where he just goes off and there's nothing that he can do. He'll be able to rejoin at least here, but yeah, a little bit messy, and well, that is just what it is. He's able to rejoin the race, and I think this race is more about surviving than anything else, and we know that too. Mees Ketelaar misses the corner. Yet again, same corner as well this time around. Getting close to Arthur Herrera, who almost spins, and just look at how much they're fighting to keep the car on the track here. People that have raced in these super tough conditions before will know exactly what it's like. Especially in this game. Here is Jose Maria Vega again. And he is going to be making it onto the curb. No, just about isn't. And on the exit gets at it, and now he goes too wide, and the car just immediately sends it whatever it wants to be, and that's going to be around. And yeah, has to rejoin now. Now luckily no damage done to the car, but it does cost him a little bit of time here. Yeah, that's it. That is just so unfortunate. So keep in mind as well, this was only a 7-lap race because of how Zolder drives are in comparison. This is the race leader, Ben Taylor Wright, going off, but actually managing to get off the spin rather well. It's going to be the number 3 car attacking him now. It's going to be Alex Dunn looking to come around as well. Joachim Rufda coming up next, but for now let's watch this battle, are we? Because well, so far he seems safe, but yeah, yet again, Ben Taylor Wright has nailed it when it comes to the pace so far. He was the quickest in qualifying, and that shows. Here now, once again, Joachim will be going off and goes onto the curb. Manages to avoid the AstroTurf, but still has almost another spin, but does make it through. And in the next corner, should at least be able to get his foot down. Obviously now the trickiest corner of them all. There it is. Makes it through. Yeah, loses the back end. What did I just tell you? It happens so many times. And that is so unfortunate for Joachim Rufda. He's really not having the race that he wants to have, but that is just part of it. And keep in mind, at this point, there's only 4 drivers left in the race as well. It's Joachim, Jose, us, And Arthur and Ben Taylor. Actually, there's 5, but that's all. See what else coming off here. There's a little bit of a spin. That's going to be Jose Maria. And now Vega will goes off and loses control and spins around, unfortunately. He's able to keep it out of the barrier at least, so in that sense, that's probably the best he could have been. But a lap later, we see the exact same thing happening, and he gets spun around. Now, at least his pace is slow, but there's no way to avoid that crash. And now he's going to have to drive the rest of it without a wing as well, unless he wants to come in, which is probably the smarter option at this point. But yeah, messy stuff all around here is Joachim Rufta again, and it's the same corner where he goes off. And is he able to keep it at least out? Yes, he is. Doesn't hit the barrier, that's a good sign, and now has to rejoin. Immediately just so aggressive onto it, you can tell as well. Unfortunately that backfires because there he goes, straight into the wall. Probably the messiest race we've seen in a long while, not saying something. Here is San Maria Caminavego, actually goes into a rouge without a rear wing. And then spins off, and then actually sees other drivers pass him as well. Ben Taylor Wright still in first position, and Alex Dunn in P3. Or P2, excuse me, it's a number 3 driver. But yeah, that is so messy, and that is definitely not what he was hoping for as well. But that is just part of it, you know. He at least is able to get out of the way in a way that nobody else will get involved. And Jose Maria still struggling to get around there. Actually stalls the car. The fortunate here is Arthur Vieira, who goes off and finds himself into the sand, or to the pebbles I should say, makes it out. And we'll at least be able to continue the race here. Yeah, a little bit messy there at times, but oh well. He's able to continue, and I think that's the most important part here. See what else is coming through. Here is Ben Taylor Wright, looking to finish the race in P1. Alex Dunn shouldn't be too far behind him as well. There he is, but yeah, this man has been owning the wet weather. As a Brit, it makes sense, right? Probably used to it at that point. A beautiful race coming out from him. The only thing I can say about it, really, this is just absolutely spectacular. It shows just a great race for him, I gotta say. And I wonder what else there is left to do for him, except celebrate and go for a couple donuts, I guess. Comes to a hold. And now we're gonna have a look at the alt lap as well. 2:55.267 was the last one out there, so we'll see how it goes. Now as well, I haven't said this yet. If you're liking the content so far, make sure you like and subscribe, okay? We very much appreciate it. We go aboard this lap here, and it's going to be a messy first corner where he's still able to get most of the pace out without losing too much. And now it gets more intense, immediately making it up to one of the most tricky corners in the entire track. Goes into 4th gear. Just slow adjustments, slow movements all around. Even considers going back to 3rd gear as well, which is probably a smart thing to do if you want to get on the throttle early on. To the Camel Straight, he's very close to that as well. Notice how he almost went sold the track there. Don't think that was intentional though. Driving on the white line there a little bit too much. Coming onto the Camel Straight, you're finally able to capitalize by some speed in, but you know, the high downforce cars still struggle immensely in the wets. It's gonna feel like driving a completely different car here coming in as well, and as he's doing rather nicely, goes up to the 4th gear and now needs to immediately brake as well for a corner that is tricky to most here, even if you are driving a car that is not in the wet. It's a corner where you see a lot of drivers coming off as well. Coming into the left-hander, it's a long straight afterwards. Gotta really start accelerating here, and here he goes. Accelerating, accelerating all the way through here. Maybe tries to put his foot down a little bit more when his car is completely straightened out. He doesn't really touch the throttle there too much because he knows it as well. Look at how much that car is just dancing around as well. Big wet spots in the corners too, so you can't really cut across the apex. So he's actually staying off it a little bit. Ooh, almost loses it. Is able to recover. Now he gets back into it though, and look at how slow and low in gear he is. But that's the only way to stay on the track here. Makes me really glad that I don't play iRacing myself anymore, because it's just impossible to do for me. Faster part of the circuit now. It's basically just a long way to go through here as well. Now also, if you're liking the content so far, or if you have anything to say that you think might be better here, make sure to let us know as well. We're about to hit 1,250 subscribers, but we're still looking to improve our content every single day. So make sure you do that. There's a big video on the screen as well. You can subscribe or go to the channel on the right hand corner. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure providing the commentary for you. Thank you guys all for tuning in. And you've come to the end of the video. There's a lot of videos back on the channel, so make sure you watch those as well. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.